So we just came back from 16 days traveling down the Baja Peninsula in Mexico. And we've received several comments and questions about the whole experience. So we've compiled 12 things that you might want to know if you're going to be traveling down in a vehicle down the Baja Peninsula. So first question we get the most often, is it safe?
So the first couple days we kind of didn't feel that safe. I think because we just crossed the border in Mexicali, we had a little bit of a weird experience. And just the whole north of Baja is not the safest place. So we just drove as fast as we could down the south, and after that, we felt completely safe.
Yeah, it's like the farther south you go, the more comfortable you start to feel, I'd say.
Yeah.
And we never really encountered anyone that looked suspicious. We never felt unsafe at all our campsites. It was pretty much the same as traveling in the United States, I would say. Safety is not really a concern unless you're going out seeking it. Next up, road conditions. How were they?
They were hit or miss in a lot of ways.
Yeah, there were some stretches that were like perfect, pristine, you can go really fast, but there were a lot of sections that were really, really rough. Like you had to slow down to pretty much a crawl, and you pretty much always had to be on alert to dodge any pothole that would come. I'd say right now we have a PhD in dodging potholes.
Yeah, it made driving a little stressful because the section of like well-paved roads and potholes come together. They're like one after the other. You don't know when they're coming. Sometimes you're on a perfect road and there's a massive pothole. So you just always have to be alert, which is exhausting.
Yeah, it's not a very relaxing drive, I'd say that for sure. What about the route to get down? Well, we recommend taking the 5 from Mexicali as far as you can go until it joins up with the 1. The 5, we would say, was in the best condition. There's a lot fewer cars on it, no big semi-trucks, and there's actually more room on the shoulder, so you feel a little bit safer. Once you get on the Highway 1, though, from there all the way down to the end of the peninsula, it's narrow, it's
scary.
There's big trucks coming pretty much all the time. We didn't drive up the 1 all the way to Tijuana, so we don't know the condition of there, but we can imagine it's pretty much the same as the rest of the peninsula. We're just editing this video right now, and we realized that we totally forgot to talk about our 4th point, which was camping. We used iOverlander to camp every night when we were in Baja. We did kind of like a mix of like more populated areas, like popular beaches, but also some very remote places where we were completely on our own. So we never paid for any of the campsites that we used the whole time we were there. We always felt very safe, so it was very comfortable to sleep. We slept very well. The stars were amazing. And Baja kind of has a feeling of like the Wild West when it comes to camping. We saw very little no camping or no trespassing signs. So as long as your vehicle has, 4x4 with high clearance and you feel like going in a certain direction, it looks like you're pretty much free to do that. We were obviously very limited with this van. We don't have 4x4 on it, so we didn't go any places that were very remote. Yeah, camping was very easy, very safe, and there's a lot of it all around. How was the tourism infrastructure?
There was pretty much none. So every hike we wanted to do, there was no signalization for it. There was no really trailhead that were made for cars to get there. It was kind of like, here's a road, good luck.
Yeah, it's not like the States or Canada where there's like very clear national parks or wilderness areas with lots of trailheads and hiking trails and all that stuff. You kind of just see what you can find. You can kind of park anywhere as long as your car can get there. And yeah, it's a little bit different once you get all the way down to the south where it's more touristy. Between La Paz and Cabo, there's a little bit more infrastructure for tourism. But yeah, outside of that area, it's...
And most hikes don't have like
well-marked trails or maps or anything. So.
Yeah, so you need your all-trail map to guide you.
Yeah, pre-download your maps and do your research before trying to venture out on your own.
Yeah.
Are the beaches busy?
Very busy, but if you do take the time to walk 30 minutes to a little hike somewhere, you'll get a beach completely to yourself.
If you can drive to the beach, it's pretty much guaranteed that it's going to be very busy, filled with people.
Yeah.
But as soon as you have to walk somewhere,
it's empty.
It's pretty much empty. You pretty much have it to yourself. How was the cleanliness?
It depends where you are, right? The more south you go, once again, the better it gets.
Yeah.
But we had a little bit of a cultural shock when we first crossed the border because it was pile of garbage pretty much everywhere.
Just lining
The
the highway
roads.
all the way down.
Yeah, so that didn't help with like the uneasy feeling we had. But once again, the more south you go, the better it gets.
How are the bathrooms?
We saw no public infrastructure for toilets. So you had either to pay someone that was kind of guarding the toilet, or you had to be a paid customer in like a restaurant or a shop or something. But there's no free public bathroom.
Yeah, and you're pretty much never gonna see like a public, even just a pit toilet somewhere like you do in the United States or Canada. So be prepared to pay or to just go out in the wilderness. What did we think about the language barrier?
It was sometimes difficult. We always managed to get by. And once again, the more south you go, the more people can get by with English, and the more people speak English. But in the north, we had to get by with just few simple words here and there.
Yeah, I'd say learn some basics
Yeah.
before you go.
Yeah, but even when the language barrier was an issue, people were always very kind. Nobody was rude to us, and they always tried to make it work. And we did sign
Sign-
language a lot.
Sign language, or you get your translate out on your phone or something.
Yeah.
When it comes to filling up gas, there's almost no self-service anywhere. There's always an attendant at the gas station. They're going to be the ones that are pumping the gas. So make sure that the numbers are at 0 when they start filling it. Otherwise, you're going to be paying for someone else's gas. They'll usually ask if you want your windows cleaned, and if they do, make sure to just give them a little tip. 5 to 20 pesos is usually good enough. And you can pretty much always pay credit card. That helps a lot. You don't have to carry thousands of pesos with you everywhere you go. And what about drinking water?
There was once again, no public infrastructure for drinking water. The only thing they had, and they had a lot of them, was a little shop that you had to go, bring your container, and they fill water for you. It's very cheap, but you have to pay for it still.
Yeah, we filled up our 5-gallon container once for 15 pesos, which is about 75 cents US.
Yeah.
So not too bad. But yeah, you're pretty much never gonna find just free potable water.
No.
And our 12th and final point, Wi-Fi and cell service.
It was not great. I don't think, used Wi-Fi once.
There was one library in the city of La Paz
Yes,
that
that's
was
true.
free. It was actually really good, really fast.
Yeah.
That's where we uploaded our YouTube videos,
Yeah.
and it was pretty good. I think that was the only free Wi-Fi that we could find
That's
in pretty
true.
much the whole peninsula.
Yeah. As for cell signal, we got a prepaid SIM card before crossing
With AT&T.
AT&T, and once we crossed over, it was hit or miss. Once again, sometimes you had 3 bars, and most time you had none.
It's obviously, like everything else, a lot better when you get further south into
Yeah.
the more touristy areas. As long as you don't need too much connection, you can get by pretty easily. So that about covers our 12 tips for traveling down the Baja Peninsula. I think overall we really enjoyed it. It was very beautiful.
Loved it. Yeah.
Lots of gorgeous scenery. So many different types of cacti that we've never even seen before. Sometimes it looked like something out of a Dr. Seuss book.
Yep.
If we had to give maybe our favorite places to visit, what would we say?
I really enjoyed the Sugarport trail that we did that led to
Right,
that
yeah.
private, gorgeous beach.
Playa Renacer.
Yeah,
That was
exactly.
really nice.
I really loved the non-profit that's right next to that hike actually, which take care of little baby turtles.
The turtle sanctuary.
Yeah, and then they
Todos
release them
Santos.
into the ocean, and you get to see that. So that was a beautiful moment.
And there's whales out there too.
That's true.
That was cool. Bahia de Concepcion was spectacular. We saw lots of dolphins in there. There's tons of beautiful, pristine beaches. That was a really nice area. Also, the mountains near Loreto were really beautiful. We did 2 amazing canyon hikes in that area. And another place we really enjoyed was Zora Canyon. We did some lovely cliff jumping there. That was amazing. So if you're heading down that way, good luck. Really enjoy it. It's definitely worth the trip down there.